Ditë më parë, ASIST Online ka shkruar për trajnerët të cilët kanë qëndruar për një vit në basketbolin kosovar, pra për atë rëndësinë e konsistencës të pasurit një trajner të vetëm gjatë tërë stinorit. Ishin Trepça, Bashkimi dhe Bora, dhe të tri skuadrat i zunë tri pozitat e para. Një prej tyre ishte Bora, e cila në vetëm vitin e dytë arriti një sukses historik duke i prek dy gjysmëfinalet të kupës dhe së funit edhe gjysmëfinalen e play-offit, ku së bashku me Bashkimin nën kampionin aktual shkoi deri në ndeshjen e 5. Të gjitha ndeshjet kanë qenë të bukura dhe dramatike. Dhe njeriu i cili qëndroi prapa këtij projekti padyshim se ishte trajneri i ri Zoran Kasçelani, i cili solli një freski, një strategji dhe një filozofi, disiplinë të jashtëzakonshme dhe sidomos punën me kategori të reja, duke besuar në lojtar të ri, dhe kjo së fundmi edhe u vërtetua me shkëlqimin e Ronukajt në dy ndeshje gjysmëfinale. Prandaj, për të diskutuar për gjithë atë që ndodhi me Borën dhe arsyen se pse ka vendosur që të vazhdoj edhe për një vjet me këtë projekt të ri i cili është treguar i suksesshëm, sot ASIST Online do të bëjë një intervistë ekskluzive me trajnerin Zoran Kasçelanin. Coach, who comes Kosovo Super League in Bora? Who found you? How did you reach agreement and decide to come to Bora?
After finishing previous season in March of 2025 with my previous team Bosna, I decided to finish that season without signing short-term contract. And throughout the summer, I was waiting in cooperation with my agency for the best option. To be honest, I was expecting that at the beginning of the season I would have some good offer, but even though I have some good interviews, I didn't make decision to come in to be coach of some new project that I didn't see as with good potential for me in that moment. At the beginning of November, with my agency, I have received the offer from Bora.
Yeah, why Bora?
But in that moment, I was thinking this way. I'm already too much off court. For me, it was the biggest break I had since started coaching career, and I wanted to go to prove myself. And Bora was the team where I see that is at that moment struggling. That means that to overturn that and to make good impression was easier in that moment. In case organization is good, and the most important, if you as a coach you have freedom to create new environment, especially with signing new players, and this is something.
But that's a great challenge.
Absolutely. In that moment, not many of my colleagues would give me advice to come here. Bosna is a well-known name, and especially because I had very good results even with them, and a couple of years before that in ABA2 League with Boras Banja Luka as well. Most of my colleagues were asking me, "Hey, where you go? Are you?" And that's sure.
Why Kosovo?
Okay, why Kosovo? For people who doesn't know it, but I was the guy who understands very well circumstances here, because a lot of my colleagues were coaches here, as well as my ex-teammates.
Your father was a coach in Kosovo.
Yes, back in
a long time ago.
Yes.
Back in the days. Yes. So the tradition goes on.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, you arrived when Bora had no win and 6 losses. What were you thinking?
At that moment, I knew that they had also some problems with injuries, and to be honest, it was not a clear picture of the quality of the team. But the first thing I was thinking is this good timing. We had a couple of games before international break, and it would be great that after these couple of weeks I can have better impressions about teams and what to change.
Okay, what were the first impressions right after you arrived?
It wasn't that positive like it at the end. The first thing, Bora was in some problems with the gym organization of practice. We could not practice in Nititori, in our own gym. Also, that makes job way more difficult. to implement new things for the players who needs to travel out of Pristina to practice. But I see good energy, and I felt from the beginning that the management of the team, as well as a staff and the players, they responded very well, and that's something that happened mostly when you have a coaching change. That the energy is different, and I felt that from the beginning, and for sure that was a good signal.
I would say synergy.
Yes.
Okay, along the way, we saw that you're a man of discipline, not a tough hand, but you like discipline, especially during the games. Even at the times when your players were doing right stuff, you would react on the small, very small things, and let's say coach them. I don't want to say other words, but let's say coach them, especially Bragg Jr., sometimes Cheese, sometimes Ron Ukaj, sometimes Olsi Kurtaj. However, you would find a way to make them better. Along the way, you release some players, including Captain Adem Mekic. Why? What happened?
First of all, to tell about discipline, I really believe that without discipline you cannot make any system, and even the worst system is better than having no system. I can say that is something in Yugoslavian coaching school that also my coaches learn me, and I think that me personally, I have this quality, let's say. But to be disciplined, first of all, you as a coach, you need to lead by example. It's not easy to coach players if you are not disciplined, if you are not well prepared. And this is what I'm trying to do since day one of my coaching career, to be prepared for our practice and to grow. You mentioned players. We did a lot of changes because we needed, with the style of play I wanted that we play. Some players needed to be changed. Some players we changed because of some circumstances, and this is something that every coach needs to be ready to work on, because it's not only about basketball, also managing things off court. But as you mentioned, Adem Mekic, who is a very good player, no doubt, but in that moment, with other imports that we had, I think his role would not be the best even for him and for us, but he is without doubt a very, very good player. But at that moment, we needed different kind of player.
Okay, I understand you. Let me ask you, what is the most important factor in your philosophy and strategy of game while working with players?
As I mentioned, to have discipline, to have effort, to be ready to fight, but above everything, to have goal. We cannot achieve anything if you don't have goal. This is something that I'm often asking my players even before practice, what is your goal for today's practice? If you just practice and you spend 2, 3, 4 hours on the court without specific goal, I don't believe that you can grow. As a coach, I like for sure that we play aggressive, that we have good energy, that we send a clear message to everybody that we work as a team, as a group. And long term, I believe in that. With hard practice, that we can grow, and that we must find out every strength and weaknesses throughout our practice time. And it's not easy if you don't have right players, and if you don't have team first players. And as you mentioned a couple of names before, even Tyler Cheese or some of them, extremely good individuals, very good individual players, one of the best in the league, if I talk about him, but one of the greatest things that during the season, he was the one who is sacrificing for the team needs. And this is the biggest thing that every coach can achieve, that he put me on the side and that we are above everything. And as a group, we have the same goal.
And that's why he stays from the beginning till the end. So he played in every and each game that Bora played this year. He's the only one who survived all these changes. And he was in a great shape. Okay, I have said that publicly, and I will repeat this one. You were the only coach who believed in young players and gave them a minute and still reach the great results. How and why?
It's not easy to work on development of young players, in the same time to be chasing good results. I would say that it's a mixture of the things we did here in Bora at the beginning. Of course, first goal is that we start winning games. As you mentioned, we didn't have game at the beginning, and for us, every next game was like finals, must-win game. In the same time, we had players who are younger with not that big experience, but I find out throughout the practice that they can help us in certain way doing what our system needs to be done. And of course, we are happy when we have young players responding well, although I think always they can do it better and they can do it more. Above everything, to invest their time more in basketball and to be more in love with this beautiful game that we are all playing.
And the results, the fruits of your work were shown at the end of the season in last two semi-final games when Ron Ukaj exploded and was one of the best.
As I mentioned a couple of days ago, Ron Ukaj was struggling with injuries at the beginning. He didn't have that consistency. And at the end, he played very good game, very good series against Bashkimi. But it's because all team knows what to expect from him. And once again, to saying to you, the hardest thing is that you explain to players what is their role, that they have to be stars in their roles. Everybody wants to be Steph Curry or Luka Doncic, difference makers to score points. We love basketball because of that, but the team and success cannot be made if we don't divide these roles very good. In these games, Ron was the one who was X factor for us and helped us a lot. But throughout all season, every player did the same in certain games.
I agree with you because I also share the philosophy that basketball is a team sport, not an individual sport. So we agree on that. Okay, tell me what was the best and the worst moment for you this season?
This is, first of all, to say, a very short season for me, the shortest one, and that's maybe because I had that big break and I had even more energy and being more enthusiastic with my next job. As you mentioned before, that I don't forget it, taking this challenge, coming to Bora, now it's easier to talk about. But at the beginning, I wasn't thinking about standings. I was only focused about our team. And the best thing happened throughout practices. When you see the growth of the team, when you see the intensity, and to be honest, also management of the club did a great job by helping me and coaching staff that we can choose right players, because the most important is selection of the players, especially in the middle of the season when on market you don't have every player you would like to get. Want to emphasize the importance of our coaching staff. Very good job that we did. Scouting reports, preparing games, being in physical shape, and this is something that make all package of Bora that successful. About worst moment, of course, these are situations when you have injury of players, when you cannot grow, when you cannot improve, and when you have some losses, maybe where you know that you could be closer to win. But when you look at the bigger picture, it's something that happens in every game. And I will never be the coach who is complaining about that. We know that's part of the job.
Yeah, we saw you never complained about losing Amin Hot in the last series, and he was crucial in the win. So yeah, we saw that you don't make excuses, but you just continue to work, and the hard work that you've done with Bora. We saw the results, but it was only the top of the iceberg. And that difficult part, of course, you had to deal with that in the practices with players. Okay, Bora believes in you, and the Bora project continues with you next year. Who of foreign players is staying? Maybe Dingle, Hunter, Cheese.
Coach is staying, that's for sure. And we started, of course. I want to start with that. I'm happy because I extended the contract here as well with my coaching staff. Very good work we did. But also the biggest thing I think for this young project and young club, above everything is something that we know that on this day we grow, we make some progress, not some good progress, but we are still far away from bigger organizations and something we want to achieve. Same with the players. A lot of them who come to Kosovo to play, they want to make it one step ahead, let's say, to use this good season to grow, to make huge step in advance to go for higher league. Like you know better than I how many great players are playing also Euro Cup or even Euro League who played in Kosovo. And this is most for foreigners. Their goal is that it's not easy to keep them for long term. We would try. We are negotiating with couple of players, but it's not going to be easy, especially because Bora is not the team with the highest budget and that we can sign long-term contract. Although we would like to have some players, and we will see next couple of weeks who is going to stay.
Yeah, but the wise managers can see the way to grow their players and prepare them for bigger markets like you mentioned, other national top leagues in Europe. They're mentioning also Euro Cup, ULAB Euro Cup, and Euro League. Okay. You know that I'm a journalist, and I will ask you always, how about local players? Did you reach agreement with new players?
We are still negotiating, and of course we want to add new players. We want to add younger players, of course.
Did you?
Officially no, because when club make announcement, that will be officially. And of course I'm not. You know very good about circumstances here. But I want to say this. I think investment in basketball of Kosovo in Super League is huge. When we talk about material, we talk about sponsorships and stuff like that, and money, it's a huge. And I think the best thing for Kosovo basketball would be even if young players are growing and they take advantage of this competitive league, bringing very good foreigners, very good players. And it is not impossible if they don't practice that good inside of good system. And this is something that I say to every player, the only minutes guaranteed are practice minutes. And this is, for youth, the biggest thing, I think, to grow.
Okay, do you agree with me that the players become players while playing and not only during the practices?
I agree, partly, because I think the best competition is practice. Why? Of course, you see as a spectator or whoever comes to watch the game, you see those 40 minutes. We see way more minutes in the practice. And if you build that confidence, if you show that you're able to play throughout practice with more contact, with more intensity, with okay, it's not official game, but you see way bigger picture there. And we have as a coaches, we have a good phrase that coaches win practices, player wins games. Same, players needs to prove. Players thinking different way. Give me time in the game and I will practice good. We think opposite. Show me in practice that you earn time for game.
Agree, but there's a different experience during the practices and during the game. The game is a real battle.
Yes, but what is the goal of the team? That's also very important. If you want to be one of the top teams, to win the games, it's impossible that you can suffer that much. Although I agree with you 100%, they need time, we need to be patient. And when you see that coach give time to some young player, even making mistakes, spending on court, it is because he earned that in practice. And this is also what I'm trying to do, always. Earn it in practice, above everything, with your attitude, with your behavior, with your way of thinking, with your extra effort that you put every day in practice, for sure your minutes in the game gonna be bigger.
Coach Kasçelan, therefore you got appreciation and the people in Kosovo liked you because you gave minutes to the young players. And speaking of, you know what happened at the end of the season with that last-minute game, relegation, who stays, who goes in the playoffs. And really, it was a very ambiguous situation. Yet, everything is done, everything finished. What do you think of idea of Super League extending to 10 teams?
It's a very good question. You are more than I'm here in Kosovo, but I think with this rule, when you have two local players to be on the court all the time, I'm not sure that the level of competition would be the same if you have two more teams with the same rule. Don't get me wrong. I think that Kosovo players need to grow above everything, that they work harder, that they put more time in practice to be more professional, and because they have great examples. Almost everything have a couple of great imports. But as you mentioned, the last season finished with the last shot. These two games in Jakova and Sucha as well was like sprint, finishing in 1 second to make decision, do or die games for both teams. And I would say that is one more plus for Kosovo League to be that competitive, and that almost in every court where you go in this country, you don't have guaranteed win, even for bigger teams that this season show.
Drita is coming back. We know Drita used to be a great team. Now they will have investments. However, Vladimir is has a great infrastructure. It's a good organization. Yet Proton Cable, Ponte Prizene, ex-Ponte Prizene, who you didn't get to see, however, they were a good flavor of Super League, could be a part of a Super League. And they are very experienced teams. And they are a great organization. What do you think of that?
It's question more for federation and the people who make decision on that. As I said, I think the quality at this moment is good, but also I think that some things can be better in terms of local players, and I say to my players every single day, they must be take care of themselves to grow, to fight. That guaranteed minutes that they have by rule is not something that will make them better players. They must work even harder, even more, that at the end of the day also national team is getting better and grow.
And to close this, when you look back, how do you see your first year in Kosovo?
I'm very happy. My experience is very positive. When you have this great result that we made, of course, the impressions are even better. Although I know this is basketball, this is sport. Yesterday doesn't exist. We already forgot what happened yesterday. For next season, we must be working hard and to prepare. And the biggest thing is to understand that no way any system can be made quick, can be made only by winning games. And it will be ups and downs. I expect that this great experience and the great energy that we felt all this year, concluding with great playoff games with Bashkimi, also for the first time that we see more crowd in Niti Tori for one new team, absolutely new team with no fans. That's something very positive for all of us, and we will try to grow, and I see that also for me as a coach as a big challenge.
At the end, do you have anything else to say that I didn't ask?
No, more or less we speak about everything. We touch more or less every topic. I want always to say with being more professional, I say to everybody, we as a coaches, because in Kosovo we have very good coaches, foreigner coaches, but also we have talented local coaches. I see the same. I say for players, this is my advice for local players. And I say them always, work more, work hard, be patient, but be fully professional and fully committed, and you will grow, and that is how everybody will win. Also for the coaches, to develop, to grow, to learn, and I think that full package will be then way better.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pra ishte kjo biseda me trenerin Zoran Kasçelanin, i cili edhe për një vit do të qëndroj te Bora, edhe do të punoj sidomos me lojtar të ri. Thash, Ranuka i ka pas 20 minuta për ndeshje, pastaj e kemi pas Olsi Kurtanj 10, Ylplana Ljubovci dikurët 5 minuta për ndeshje, një sidomos edhe Genç Zhyqiri, mos ta haroj. Pra një përparim i lojtarëve të ri, të cilët me eksperiencën sidomos të cilën po e marrin në stërvitje, sikurse ndëgjuat edhe trenerin Kasçelanin, por edhe me besimin i cili po ju treguohet në lojë, janë e ardhmja e këtij projekti dhe basketbollit kosovar në përgjithësi. Prekëm shumë tema, andaj krejt në fund ju ftoj që edhe më tuti të qëndroni me ASIST online, sepse tani na pret seria finale, Trepça me Bashkimin, një seri fantastike, përsëritje e finales vitit të kaluar. Me këto dhe shumë lajme ekskluzive të cilat kanë bëjmë me këte, do të vim në, e dini edhe ju, portalin numër 1 të basketbollit në Shqiptari në përgjithësi, ASIST online. Adhurues të basketbollit, deri në takimin tonë të radhës, qëndroni me ASIST dhe e dini, zemra tuaj le të ngrohtë dashuria për basketbol.